My dad has always been my hero, and he still is, because even after he's been gone for 20 years, I still think of his extraordinary life and all the hardships he overcame. Orphaned at the age of 8, he was sent to another town, over 2,000 kilometers from where he was born, to live with an aunt. This aunt, already having several children of her own, would send the children to the local railway station to beg for money in order to support the large family. When Papa did not bring home enough money, he was beaten and went hungry. One day, while a train had stopped to allow passengers time to refresh themselves and stretch their legs, a barber and his wife got off the train. The barber took a liking to my dad and asked him if he wanted to come live with him. He promised a warm bed, food, and schooling. My father jumped at the opportunity and happily hopped on the train with the barber and rode away from a life of begging and abuse. While living with the barber and his wife, Papa went to school, and after class he would sweep the floors in the barber shop and do other general chores around the house. My father took to selling and trading things he found to earn more money. He often worked as a guide for one of the barber's clients, Herbert, a young Austrian officer traveling in the area. Remember, this was war, and it was easier for a boy to run around than for a soldier in uniform. As aggressions intensified and Hitler's army advanced into Russia, the barber and his wife abandoned their home and my father without a word. Papa continued to go to school and trade whatever goods he could find, when one day Herbert pulled him out of school after seeing that his adopted family had left and offered to send him home to his family in Austria. For 3 weeks, Papa learned enough German to pass as a German boy visiting relatives in the Ukraine and boarded a train to Salzburg. 3 days later, my father stepped off the train in Austria, where he's taken into Herbert's sister's home, safe from the atrocities of war in Russia, to begin a new life as an Austrian. Papa left Austria in 1948 and immigrated to Canada, eventually marrying my mother. From Herbert, he learned that you do not need to be a blood relation to be family. I did get to meet Herbert and thank him for the kindness he showed a poor orphan boy at the beginning of a horrible war. For the rest of Papa's life, he was always adopting people and helping them out however he could, from giving land for the church to helping refugees find a job and put a roof over their heads. He did the same thing with animals. If they needed his help, Papa would help. I have my dad to thank for teaching me that things will always get better if you have a little help from a kind and generous soul.